What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the Weapon Collective. My name's Jeff, and today we are out in the shop because the video I'm doing today, all the guns were out here. And instead of hauling them all over to the Gat Cave, I figured let's make life a little easier and just shoot the video out here. So this video was a viewer request wanting to see my SLR Rifleworks collection because he was going to do an AR15 build and was thinking about doing it with an SLR receiver set and possibly a rail. I'm not exactly sure, but he wanted to see the SLR Rifleworks builds that I had done. And I will say SLR is one of my favorite companies to do a build off of because they make amazing receiver sets. They have the best rails with tons of length options. And if you're not familiar with SLR Rifleworks, they are a company out of Florida and they do not sell completed guns. They sell parts. So you can buy receiver sets and I mean, obviously everything can be shipped right to your door except the lower receiver, the serialized part, so it has to go to an FFL. Other than that, you can get all this stuff and it's badass. And there are options that you can get pre-Cerakoted parts, receivers, rails, hand stops, mounts, everything like that. They make AK stuff, AR stuff, pistol stuff, slides, the works. So today we are focusing on AR-10s, AR-15 rifles, and AR-15 pistols. So we're gonna go through these builds that I've done, and just a little warning, a lot of these builds are very similar. You'll inevitably ask, why build so many similar guns? Well, I enjoy it. That's the simplest answer. Doing AR builds is meditation. I have a bunch of parts out here. I never start a build with an intended destination in mind. I I got the receivers, let's get the rail, and I have barrels laying around, I have all the parts laying around, and I piece them together. It truly is adult Legos, and it is just relaxing, and I love it, but I admit I have too many AR-15s, but I love them all. So let's take a look at my SLR Rifleworks collection. Okay, so we're gonna start out with a B30, which is a 308, and this thing is sweet. So this obviously came to me as a rail, an upper receiver, and a lower receiver. And then I just go through my parts and put this together, and I love it. This thing is sweet. Although I don't shoot 308 nearly as much as I shoot 5.56. So this thing doesn't have a ton of rounds on it, but it is a very cool gun. I really like the Cerakote. And one little side note, I mentioned that SLR, you can buy some of their receiver sets and other parts pre-Cerakoted. I think you can get them in OD green, MultiCam Black, flat dark earth, and they are in Florida. And there's a Cerakote company down there called Deadlock Coatings that they work with, which when you order these things, you can request any pattern and they will send it over to Deadlock, who does a phenomenal job on the coating process. It just adds time before you'll get it in hand. And sometimes it can be a little lengthy. So Deadlock Coatings is who did this, and they did a hell of a job. It looks fantastic. And this is kind of a Swedish M90 geocam. It is cool. So let's go through how I have this thing set up. First off, we'll start at the tip. And this is a primary weapon system BDE. It's a 30 cal can and it is on a dead air chemo mount, and under this is a forward controls chemo flash hider. And that is on a 16-inch Ballistic Advantage government profile barrel. I am rocking a Lantac gas block, and of course it's a rifle length gas system. And then moving back, this is a Modlite PLH V2 18350, and then this is a Cloud Defensive LCS, and that is for the Surefire ST07 tape switch, which I'm using to activate my light. and then an emissary development cable clip. This is one of the little round ones. I don't use these nearly as much as the longer ones, but they do the job. And moving back, this does have a Vortex Razor Gen 3, and then this is in a Unity Tactical Fast LPVO mount with the Unity Fast offset base, and I have a Trijicon RMR in Coyote, and that is for just that 45-degree offset. You can roll that over and get to your red dot if necessary. And if you ask, why put that on there? Well, if you're dialed up to 10 on this thing and you're looking out, reaching out at distance, and you had to shoot something very close suddenly, you just roll that over to your 45-degree and you got a little red dot right there. And it just looks cool. Geissele super charging handle. This is a Geissele buffer tube. And then this is a Magpul SL buttstock and a B5 pistol grip. This does have an Aero Precision bolt carrier group with a Geissele Super Dynamic Combat flat face trigger. And very cool gun. Oh, BCM CAG hand stop up front. And I think that is everything on this bad boy. Oh, these are Battle Arms Development Safety Selectors. Ambi. And this is the SLR Rifleworks B30 16-inch. Okay, this next gun is the only one that I didn't personally build. I got this one off Gunbroker, and as things happen sometimes with Gunbroker, they look one way on the internet, and when you get it, you're a little disappointed. Or at least that's the case with me, and it was the case with this gun. So, to be honest, I've never even shot this gun. But it is a cool little package. It is a 308, so a B30, and it has a 12.5-inch barrel. So it is an AR-10 pistol, which is cool. I like the compactability of this thing. Nice compact little AR-10. Pretty cool, but it just looked one way online, and when I got it in hand, it was less exhilarating, I should say. But cool nonetheless. And then I think there's an aspect of it that if I didn't build it, I'm not as attached to it. So if I shoot the AR-10, I take the one I just showed you. But the 12.5-inch barrel is cool, and let's go through it. So all I really did to this thing is I put this ACOG on here from Trijicon. This is a 4X. This has a Rise Armament trigger in it. I don't know who makes this bolt carrier, but it is in titanium nitride, which I like. And it has this SB Tactical collapsible pistol brace, which is cool. So that does collapse. And then I threw a Q Trash Panda on the end of it. And this little guy, this hand stop, this is a 3D printed hand stop. This came out of the Tac Pack box. If you guys are familiar with Tac Pack, it's a company, you sign up for a subscription. Every month they send you a box of random gun stuff. It's very cool, but this thing, if it was made out of metal, it would be one thing, but this feels like it would eventually break. So we'll see how long it lasts. But first I gotta shoot this gun, otherwise it'll last forever. And other than that, I really haven't done anything to it. I don't know who makes, looks like a Battle Arms charging handle, but I'm not even sure. It's not marked, and I didn't build this gun, so I'm not 100% sure. But this is the 12.5-inch SLR Rifleworks B30. And that is going to do it for the 308s. Everything from here on out is called the S15, which is SLR Rifleworks AR15 platform. And we're going to start out with this 11.5-inch. This thing is done. It's going to look similar to some of my black multicam guns, which I have the most of, but this is actually in a pattern called TED Cam. Why it's called TED Cam, I do not know, but It's very similar to black multicam, except these goldish greens are in there. And I'll get a black multicam out later and compare them, but it's cool. So this is a 11.5-inch ballistic advantage barrel. It's a government profile. It is a carbine length gas system. This has an SLR Century gas block on it. And let's go through the rest of it. So up front, I've got a Dead Air Sandman K, then a Modlite PLH V2 18350 that I'm operating with the Surefire SR07 pressure pad, Emissary Development handbrake. I'm really digging these. Moving back, this is the only gun I've ever put this on. This mount is A&R design, and it's called their Anvil, ANVL, and so far I'm happy with it. It's been a cool little, it's almost like a little carry handle too. And on top of that, I have an Aimpoint H2. And moving back, I've got the SLR Ambi mag release. So if you can see how that works, it's just like a normal part that you'd put in there for a normal mag release, except this side has a spring that you can push that in and drop the mag. All these B15s also have a bolt release. They're all ambi in that way, but many of these I have a Magpul bad lever on because I'm not that concerned about dropping the bolt. I'm concerned about locking that bolt back when I have a malfunction, and these do nothing for me in that instance. The bad lever, I can lock the bolt to the rear and drop it just like that. I don't think you can beat that. And then I do have a Radian Raptor SD charging handle. And this is also a Geisley buffer tube, SB Tactical SBA3 pistol brace, Radian Talon Ambi safety selectors. This is the Q trigger, the greatest trigger ever made, or greatest trigger in the world, something to that effect. This is a JP Industries low mass bolt carrier that I'm running, and B5 pistol grip, and I believe that is the entirety of the gun. So this is the B15 in TEDCAM. Okay, this next one is super cool, although I think they're all cool, but this next one, I like this Cerakote. Little different from the B30. This one's called Fighter Cam, and why I do not know, but it's Fighter Cam, and it looks really cool. So this is a 13.7-inch barrel, and this one is also a ballistic advantage. It is a government profile, and it is a mid-length gas system. This one also has the SLR Rifleworks Century gas block. It is adjustable. This is a Surefire SOCOM 556 Mini, and this one is running a Modlite OKW 18350 with the Surefire SR07 pressure pad. It has the Irregular Defense hand stop. It's called their MHS, the modular hand stop. These and the Emissary Development handbrake are tied for top position with me currently. I like both of these a lot. Emissary Development cable clip. Moving back, we have a Night Force NX8, so 1:8 LPVO. This is in a SLR Works Leap mount, and this is a 193 in optic height. And then I've shown this on one other gun on the channel before, these Valhalla Tactical Ruck 45-degree offset mounts. These things are super cool, just on a hinge, so you can mount it at any angle, really. It doesn't have to be 45, but that one I'm running a Sniper Gray RMR. I think this is a super clean looking gun here, just the aesthetics of it. Everything matches perfectly. A Radian Raptor SD charging handle. I've got a Radian Talon Ambi safety selectors. This is a Strike Industries enhanced castle nut and end plate. This is a mil-spec buffer tube that I had Cerakoted gray. SB Tactical SBA3 pistol brace. I have a B5 pistol grip on here. another Geisley Super Dynamic Combat Trigger, a Magpul bad lever, and it has the same SLR Ambi mag release on this side with a Fortis cover on this side of the mag release. This is a very cool gun. I like this thing a lot. One of my favorites. So this is the 13.7 SLR Rifleworks AR pistol in fighter cam. Okay, this next one is, this is one of the first guns that I ever got Cerakoted. And it turned out a little different than I'd anticipated. Sometimes when you pick a color from a little swatch, it looks much different than the end product. And this one did that. So I did it in what I thought was more of a bluish grayish color, and it looks so white in person. So this is another SLR B15. This is a 16-inch barrel, and this is basically my stormtrooper gun, is what I call it. Let's go from the tip. This one also has a Dead Air Sandman K, and that is on the Chemo flash hider. This is a 16-inch Ballistic Advantage barrel. It's a government profile. Moving back from there, I've got these SLR fixed peak iron sights, which I think are the best iron sights that are made, as well as their flip-ups. I know I've said that a bunch in these videos, but these things are sweet. And then I've got a Aimpoint Micro T2. This is a SLR Leap mount, and it is 1.42 inch in optic height. This one has, this is the Geisley Super 3-gun curved trigger. This is a Radian Raptor charging handle. No SD. It's got a Lantac bolt carrier group. Strike Industries Enhanced Castle Nut and end plate. This one has a Strike Industries Ambi mag release on this. And then it has a Daniel Defense buttstock on a mil-spec buffer tube that I had Cerakoted the same color. This is the 16-inch B15 from SLR Rifleworks. All right, this one is a 13.7-inch barrel. This is in kind of a battle-worn Cerakote, which I'm not a huge fan of anymore. When I first got into guns, I was really into battle-worn for some reason, but I'm a little over it at this point. Still, cool nonetheless, and let's go through this guy. So out front, I've got a Dead Air Sierra 5 on the Dead Air Xeno mount. This one is the just classic flash hider. Looks like an A2 bird cage, but it works with the Xeno. Modlite PLH V2 18650, so the full length battery in that. Another Cloud Defensive LCS with the Surefire ST07 tape switch, and that's running through an Emissary Development cable clip, BCM CAG hand stop. And then the barrel in this is a 13.7 inch. It's from a company called Dirty Bird. I'm not very familiar with this company. Early on, I was just buying barrels, and I don't know much about these guys, but it's a Dirty Bird barrel. Moving back, we have an EOTech EXPS3, and that's on the SLR riser. And then an EOTech G45 on the Unity flip to center mount, a CMC drop-in trigger, which I like, it's okay. This is the Radian Raptor charging handle. These are Fortis safety selectors, Fortis castle nut and end plate. This is a Voltor A5 buffer system in here. So the buffer tube, the spring, and the buffer weight are all Voltor A5 system, which I really dig. Then SB Tactical SBA3 pistol brace, and I believe that is everything. Well, with an SLR Rifleworks bolt carrier group, that is done in titanium nitride. I think this gun is super cool. I probably just would have done it in a different color of gray rather than this battle worn. But this is the 13.7 inch B15 from SLR Rifleworks in Cerakote battle worn. Okay, this next one is like the others. It's similar to everything. It's kind of just, they're all variations of each other, right? So this one is a 13.9 inch B15, and this guy has, let's start at the tip. So this one is a Huxworks Flow 556K. Moving back, we have a Modlite OKW 18350 weapon light that is on an Arisaka offset scout mount. I'm operating that with the Surefire SR07 pressure pad, Emissary Development handbrake, and the Emissary Development cable clip. This 13.9 inch barrel is from Triarc Systems. This is their track barrel. I'm also running a Triarc gas block on this. It is a mid-length gas system and it runs really nice, particularly with this can from Huxworks. No back pressure, and you'd be surprised at how much it reduces felt recoil having a no back pressure can on here. As we move back, I've got the Nightforce NX8 1-8 with Valhalla Tactical Ruck for the RMR. This one is in black, and this has Radian Raptor SD charging handle. And then I'm running a Fortis Castle Nut. This one has the gold accent. This one also has the Voltor A5 buffer system in it. SB Tactical SBA3 pistol brace, B5 pistol grip, little Fortis gold accent for the mag release, and I think that is about it. Oh, Strike Industries dust cover, but this thing is super cool. It's in that black multicam, dead sexy. This is a sweet gun, shoots spectacularly. This is the 13.9 B15 from SLR Rifleworks in black multicam. Okay, this one you guys have seen if you've watched the videos on my channel. This one was on my optic mount video. So this guy is the little MultiCam Black with the Sons of Liberty Gunworks M89 rail on it. And this one, the focus of this being in that optic video was this spur optic mount. This thing is sick, I'm telling you. So if you haven't seen that video, this is the Spur RDF 2022 5K. It is an Aimpoint T2 mount with the Aimpoint 3X magnifier, and you can hit a little button, take that baby right out, be left with just the optic if you'd like, or you can pop that back in, click that button, and you're off to work. So that thing is super cool. This is what I was showing in the other video more than anything. Let's go through the gun. This one has a Silencer Co. Saker on the end of it, and that is on the Q Plan B. And then we've got a Modlite PLH V2 18350 that I'm operating with the Surefire SR07 pressure pad. This is also an SLR hand stop that you can order pre-cerakoted in this MultiCam Black, match the receiver set. Then moving back, I have Radian Raptor SD charging handle. I have Radian Talon Ambi safety selectors, Q bolt carrier in it, the two-piece bolt carrier with, this is just a mil-spec buffer tube, SB Tactical SBA3 pistol brace with this flatline fiber brace wrap thing. It's cool. And then a dye-free company Kung Fu pistol grip. I'm still not sold on the angle on this thing. On the short guns, it's much better. You don't want this on a longer gun. And this is the Geissele Super Dynamic Combat Trigger, which I like a lot. So this is the 10.5 inch B15 in MultiCam Black with the Black Sons of Liberty rail. Okay, this next one is awesome. This is probably the most recent build I did, or most recent SLR build anyway. And this one I'm excited about because I was able to get a X2 Dev Group Trident barrel in a 12.5-inch barrel. And if you saw my X2 Dev Group on my ARX Light Fighter, AR15, then you saw that barrel and the fluting in it, and it's a sweet barrel and gas block. So I have that barrel and that gas block in this gun, which I'm very stoked on. So 12.5-inch, and from the tip, this one is also a Huxworks Flow 556K. This one is in the FDE. And then we have a Modlite OKW 18350 that I'm operating with this Unity TNVC TAPS system. So light and laser combo. So the back button here is operating this laser, this ATPIAL or PEC 15. This is civilian power, unfortunately, but it is on this GBRS Group's Hydra, which I love for lasers. Move that weight all the way to the center of the gun. Keeps it from that front heavy, particularly if you're running a can and a light and you got this big bulky thing and you have a laser out here and it gets very front heavy. So I'm a big fan of this GBRS Hydra. And then this is a EOTech EXPS3, which I dig. And then this is the Irregular Defense MHS, that modular hand stop. Moving back from there, we've got a Radian Raptor charging handle, the Radian Talon safety selectors, and then this is the Radian Vertex drop-in trigger. These are really cool, fairly new, but great. One more great product from Radian. They keep killing it. Just mil-spec buffer tube, SB Tactical SBA3 pistol brace, and B5 pistol grip. This thing is, I'm stoked on this guy, I'll say that. The bolt carrier I'm running in this is a Triarch and Tac Hunt Fish collaboration. I don't know if you can see the little, let me wipe that down. See if you can see that Tac Hunt Fish logo in there. Yeah. So this is a really cool gun. I am stoked on it. And to finish it out of the SLR builds, this one is actually just an upper that I built that I kind of can swap out. So I'm throwing it on this same lower with that Vertex, that Radian Vertex trigger on it. So this thing is really cool because it is an 11.5 proof research barrel in this, which is a carbon fiber barrel. So it's extremely light and very maneuverable, very accurate, very cool barrel. If you can see that carbon fiber there, I love it. And just trying to keep the weight down. So let's go through how I have this thing set up. So this is a KGM R556 suppressor. And then this is the Scout Light from Surefire. So this is another cloud defensive. This is the Mark 1G, and it mounts right here for the Surefire ST07 tape switch, and it mounts on the 45-degree M-lock, which I got to get a little used to because I'm used to it being on that pick rail, but it works. So this is an SLR rail, SLR lower, SLR bolt carrier group, but this is not an SLR upper receiver. I do have Aimpoint T2 on a GBRS Lerna mount, a Radian Raptor SD charging handle, Radian Talon. Well, there's that same lower, so everything else is the same on that. But if you guys have shot these proof research barrels, you feel how crazy light they are. This one is just for rotating between all these other lowers or any other gun I want to put it on. But I didn't have another SLR lower, so it's on this one. And that is going to round out my SLR Rifleworks builds. So you might say, why the hell do you have that many SLR guns? They're almost all the same. And agreed, I get it. That's a fair question. And my answer is just that I enjoy the process. I love taking all these little parts, and it's adult Legos. You put them together, and in a couple hours time, you have a functional tool that is very useful, very fun. And I just like coming up with all these other variations, configuring them in a different way, trying to find the perfect balance of length, all these things working in harmony together to figure out which is the best working pieces that I can put together. It is just a very enjoyable process for me. But I did this video because somebody requested it. And if you're watching, I hope you have a fantastic AR15 build, but beware, it is addicting. I am living proof of that. So please like, comment, share, and most importantly, subscribe. I'm Jeff for the Weapon Collective, reminding you to keep your weapons collected and keep collecting your weapons. I'll catch you next time.